Right, okay. Joe Leigh here for Seconds Out, Kalle Sauerland. This is the last one, I promise. How are you doing, man? You right?
Yeah, good, man. How are you?
Yes, very good. Obviously, we've just seen Josh Kelly headline here. First time, as you mentioned, in Newcastle for some boxing. As a boxing show, we had Harlem Eubank, which I want to start on. The most eventful part of the night. Obviously, you were unhappy, you were emotional at the time. What was going through your mind at that point? It was shocking scenes.
Yeah, I need to have a look back at my reaction, how shocking it was, because everyone tells me how emotional I was. I thought I've seen myself worse, I think. But no, I mean, Harlem was cruising, and he's improving every time he fights, and the level was top. He was fighting a top opponent tonight. The man was beating Lara, who obviously beat Warrington. So you see the levels, and he's cruising all the way through 8. Ref calls break. Boom! Another punch comes in. Okay, turn a blind eye to the first one. Shouldn't happen, but can happen after a break. And then he looks at him, and he's standing there. They're looking at each other, and then he throws 2 more. I mean, it was almost it was GBH. It was I don't know. It was an attack because the fight had stopped at that point. So, you know, Harlem. Credit to Harlem. He could have taken the easy way out. 3 times the ref asked him, "Do you want the fight to stop? It's disqualification." 3 times he said, "No, I want to continue." And I think a lot of fighters would have taken the early shower and paycheck and gone home, but Harlem wanted those extra 2 rounds, and actually he came back into it after taking those punches, and in the 9th round he almost took the other fella's head off. So it was great to see. And then 10th again. I mean, I don't know what this guy came over here for, if he was intent on getting disqualified, because he could have been really disqualified half a minute before the actual disqualification. He did exactly the same thing again. And then again, and then of course it was too late, especially in the last round. It was a bit bizarre.
Yeah, definitely. Just on the main event, of course, Josh Kelly, how far do you think he can go? We expected a little bit better from him tonight, but he got the win. What did you make of his performance overall?
Well, I mean, I think the perception on it could have been better. We have to look at the opponent, and the opponent was a rock solid opponent, and to keep those, you saw in long phases, you saw Josh boxing fantastically. The footwork, the little bit of showboating in there. He loves a bit of that. He loves turning off and then suddenly exploding with 5-6 punches. So he was making his mark all over it against a very tough guy, and he did that for most rounds. You're gonna give up a couple of rounds against a guy like that. The judge read it with a round. He had to excuse himself. I think he was on the bathroom for 11 rounds of the fight, but he gave the 1 round he did see to Josh, so that's okay. But we'll let that one fly. But yeah, it was perfect for us. It was, boxes ticked in terms of rounds. We wanted rounds. We wanted him to have that feeling that he's boxed a tough opponent, got 10 rounds under his belt, and now onwards and upwards.
Troy Williamson was here tonight. Is that the route next, or is it world title?
I noticed when he jumped into the post-fight interview, I noticed Troy was here.
Did you invite him down?
No, listen, listen, all boxers are welcome to our shows, and especially if they've been ordered to have a fight against our guy for the British title. But I didn't invite him into the interview, that's for sure. No, that wasn't planned. And in fact, it was a shock moment. But at the same time, you see, he wants to fight. Josh wants to fight. Look, it's a fight that I think ticks a lot of boxes for us in terms of what we want to do with Josh in terms of moving forward. But it's one that we have to first discuss with Troy's promoter, and there's always that purse bid to go to if we can't find a deal. But it'd be a great fight for the autumn.
Do you feel like perhaps if that fight is going to happen, you'd want it on Channel 5? Otherwise, just look onwards and upwards towards world title for Josh?
Yeah, but I'm not going to go out and say that now, but I hope we can find a good solution. Yeah, but it's boxing. But I think we get on with the promoters very well, and we'll be talking next week.
When's the next show? Do you have any dates as of yet?
We will be back on Channel 5 September 17th. We'll be making an announcement in the very near future. Right now. I think I just announced it, didn't I? Yeah, September 17th. I don't know. Joe, we announced that one? Yeah, I don't think we have. No. So there you go, an exclusive at 1:10 in the morning, Newcastle. You got it. Last man standing. No, but September 17th is envisioned. We've got a load of names to put on there. We have to work out which ones will be September, October, November. That's for sure. Channel 5. So, Lyndon Arthur joining the force tonight.
Talk on that.
Yeah, I mean, he's a fantastic. He's not a prospect. Lyndon is not a prospect. Lyndon is already at that level. We can move him super fast, and he fancies a third yard fight. I fancy Callum Johnson. I fancy for him. I fancy Boatsy, Dan Aziz. So there's good fights there. But at the same time, he's just come back for training camp with Baturbiev. Felt like a duck in water, and can go on to do a lot of things.
Just going to wrap it off with obviously Chris Eubank Jr, Conor Benn. What's happening? What's the latest?
Well, at least you asked directly. I would say people got a bit carried away by sources, confirming sources without anything from the horse's mouth. There's a chain of correspondences with journalists where I'm telling the truth. We haven't even spoken yet. So it was at the time when the whole thing broke, so to speak. I mean, break, for me, if something breaks, something has to have come from one of the parties, whether it's from on the promotional front, whether it's from me or from Eddie, or on the boxer front, whether it's from Chris or from Conor. But it's not come from anyone, but it's come from sources. Interesting, that. So I'm not getting carried away with the whole time pressure. People say, it's been delayed. I said, well, how can we sign be delayed? Come on, give me a break. Yeah. But it's huge. It's huge because it does so many. It brings up so many different emotions with people, and you can see the magnitude of the fight. It is, outside the heavyweight, it's the biggest fight in British boxing at the moment. And I'm not going to say it's bigger than heavyweights, but it's different. It's something that encompasses so many emotions for people who watched boxing in the 90s and those great fights, and obviously those names synonymous with those great fights. I do think if the fight happens, forget the whole spectacle. I think their styles will gel, and it will be a great fight if it happens.
It is exciting with the dads and everything as well. It gets a lot of the older age range as well.
Yeah, but I'd like to, I think absolutely. I don't see that. I see the dad's part, but I think also these two have really managed to grow their own careers. And use. I mean, I can only speak for Chris here, but the way that Senior has positively impacted on Chris's career, he's done. The advice when you speak to Senior about boxing, and he really knows his stuff, and I personally enjoy my conversations with Senior. He's legend and someone who really knows the game.
Stupendous. Just a quick prediction to end off.
Chris against Conor. If it would happen, I think Chris has got the speed, the power, durability. Conor's got the speed, he's got power as well. But I just think that Chris has got the experience as well. And for me, there's only one winner.
Can he stop it?
Absolutely.